BC Lions are back on the practice field on this Wednesday evening at Hillside Stadium. A round of evening practice as the track and field competition rolls into the tournament capital. Now, first full practice after the loss to Calgary in Langford on Monday, so looking at the second half of practices here as we look forward to the final preseason tune-up, which goes at the end of next week in Edmonton. Now, let's talk about injuries. A welcome sight for BC Lions fans. Dejon Allen, number 50, was a limited participant today. Of course, hadn't practiced at all due to those back spasms he reported with upon arrival. So a bit of individual stuff. He had a helmet on, so baby steps for Dejon Allen, a major anchor to this new-look offensive line. Speaking of that offensive line, Anu Una, of course, suffering the injury in the game against Calgary. David Foucault taking his spot up front. Now, let's talk about one of the standouts in Langford, Germaine Jackson. 4 catches, 54 yards, including a second-half touchdown from Chase Price. He talked about getting in some game action and how that can build going forward in the rest of camp as he looks to earn a spot.
It was the first time out there. It was exciting to get my feet wet out there in the CFL, I was excited for the opportunity. I got the punt return, QR returns too going, so it was just a great opportunity. I just can't wait to see how the season goes and the rest, what's in store for me and the rest of the team.
Only a week of practice, right? I mean, how big of a challenge was that to navigate?
It was a challenge, but the playbook was you got to get in the playbook and you got to study hard. Me and my roommate, every time after the meetings at 9 o'clock, we would go to the room and just study hard. Just, make sure we're on top of everything so we feel comfortable when we came out and competed at practice so we could have it translate in the game.
And, of course, a handful of veterans did not make the trip to Vancouver Island, are itching to get in. Will so at the end of next week, most likely. One of those, the elder statesman of this defense now, Garry Peters, year number 7 with the BC Lions. Petey, on what he's loving about this year's camp.
Still having fun, but it's all business, no wasted time, no wasted movement. A lot of things you can see we're doing a lot of competition, a lot more competing against each other. So the vibe's been different, but there's more sense of urgency around here.
You saw the game in Langford, obviously. What stood out to you, some of the young DBs getting some action in?
Just watching them, for the first time, just kind of reminded me of where I was, that first time in the preseason. You got a lot of jitters, so it's a lot of times you see the motion and a lot of things in practice, but you don't get to really experience until you get out there on the field. So just them going out there and playing hard, playing fast, and just having fun, this kind of reminded me of my first year, and when I first came in the league.
Yeah, talking about that secondary, Deontay Williams, another free agent addition back in February, he looked to be getting reps at the nickel position. So again, plenty of options with guys being versatile, playing different positions. One play that stood out today earlier on Wednesday, Javon Katoy, a nice catch, corner route, looked like one-on-one coverage against AJ Uzodinma. Standouts, gotta love it, these veterans doing well. It's Matt Baker at Hillside Stadium. BC Lions training camp continues.